Hello songwriters, welcome back to the Be Radical Make Music podcast with me, Rosie, and today we are taking questions from the Be Radical Make Music community over on Facebook. If you're not a member of that community, then please do go and join it. It's free and then you can upload your question directly to me. So today we've got a question from Ruaraidh, and Ruaraidh asks,
Hi Rosie, it's Rory Wishart here from Little League Rebellion. So my question is, pubs want cover bands and are not really interested in artists performing original material. How can we build an audience and get people to listen to our music without live performance opportunities? Or should we just set up our own original music nights in pubs? You can find my music on Little League Rebellion, all one word, .bandcamp.com. That's littleleaguerebellion.bandcamp.com.
Thank you so much, Ruaraidh, for that question. If you've got your own question, go to the Be Radical Make Music Facebook community and get it uploaded. I'm going to preface my answer to this with a few different things. Number one, Be Radical Make Music is all about songwriting. It's all about your artistry. It's all about you developing as an artist, as a musician, as a visionary, about you learning how to express yourself through that medium of songwriting. And so that's what I dedicate everything to. I do completely appreciate that once you have worked really hard on your artistry, then at some point you're going to want to share your music. At some point you're going to want people to hear what you've been working on. And that's what this question deals with. I don't teach that side of music often. The main reason for that is because I feel like for every musician it's completely different. For every artist it is not a one size fits all. But what I am going to share today are some fundamentals and thoughts on marketing your music. A mixture of mindset and strategy, and so let's get into it. So I'm going to split this answer into two halves. The first half is pubs and bars don't want original music, they just want covers. And then the second half is how can we build an audience, and should we set up our own original music nights. Pubs and bars sell alcohol and food, not music. And it's really important that we understand a pub, a bar, it's a type of business. And what that business sells to make revenue and therefore make profit is food and alcohol. So when that bar is considering paying for something, paying for a service like a cover musician, they are making those investments because ultimately those investments are going to make that bar profit. A covers artist markets themselves to venues and to pubs knowing what they provide. I will provide you covers of well-known songs so that your punters will stay longer in this bar and drink more and eat more and make you more money. It's a legitimate return on investment for that bar. Now, when a bar looks at an original musician who doesn't necessarily have a following, is playing music that's completely brand new, a lot of the times the bar is going to see risk. They're going to think, is there a return on investment? Now, I'm not saying that this is like good or bad, but we need to understand it's 2024, and after the pandemic and after Brexit, particularly in the UK, pubs, bars and restaurants and music venues even have a really hard time of it and have been hit really hard. So they are going to take even less risks. So I like this question a lot because I think it really highlights how precarious it is for us as artists to place our artistry and our growth in the hands of another business. And so I want you as a musician, as an artist and as a songwriter to start thinking the same way. What is it that you can invest in that's going to get you a return on investment? I don't know how many pubs and bars I played. No one was listening. No one cared. I hated it. I don't think they hated it, but I don't think they even noticed it. It was a waste of time. So in the question, when Rory says there are no performance opportunities, I would counter question that with saying, are bars and pubs, generally speaking, actually opportunities in the first place? So essentially we're spending energy, maybe we're even spending money to get there, and we're not getting much or anything back. But that goes for any audience growth, whether that's your business where you want to make profit, maybe you're teaching music, or whether it's a podcast that you've got, or it's the music that you're making, all of these things require you to do something. And that is marketing. Marketing is the process of getting other people interested in what it is that you have to offer. It's alerting other people with what you have to offer, who you are, why they're interested in it, what kind of trade is this going to be. When it comes to your music, we still got to think about things in those terms sometimes. I wanted to address that first point because I really want to show that you need to think about yourself as an entity on your own first, and then consider, if I'm interacting with this business, what's in it for them and what's in it for me, and is that enough, and is that fair, and is that what I want, is that what I'm after, instead of just looking at places that maybe traditionally were seen as platforms for musicians and artists. There is that other thing that we all need to do, which is marketing. So that takes me to my second point, which is, how do we find an audience for our music? Should we set up our own original music nights in pubs? I'm going to speak very broadly here. There are people out there with podcasts and YouTube videos and courses that do this really, really well, and that are very, very on the pulse of what's going on right now. But broadly speaking, how we go from the bedroom, the music studio, caring about the songs, I'm really focusing on the lyrics and the chorus and the structure and making this a really great song. How we cross over that line and get that out to people who care about it and want to listen to it and want to come and see us live and want to download it and give us money. The bridge between those two things is marketing. There are a lot of activities, processes and strategies that you can undertake to elicit interest, to make sure people know that you even exist, to draw them into your world, to keep them in your world, and then to get them down in person to see you at a show, or for them to come to one of your virtual gigs or virtual events. So for those of you that are sitting screaming at me going, but
Rosie, I hate it and I'm terrible at social media and I don't understand marketing and I don't even...
It's cool. It's cool. I need to remind you of something. No one knows what they don't know. Marketing isn't something that you're just born knowing. Marketing it's a topic, it's a subject, it's a skill, and it existed way before social media. For those of you that are feeling a bit technophobic and you just don't know where to begin, I honestly recommend you go to your local library and you get a book. You get a book on marketing, you get a pen and a pad of paper, and you just start making notes. And when you are marketing your music, you're basically wanting to get a message out to as many people as possible, and that's why you see so much social media when it comes to music artists. Social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, these are platforms that have masses amounts of people. A huge percentage of the global population are already on those platforms. So understanding the fundamentals of, how do I find these people? How do I talk to those people? How do I show up in a way that positions myself in front of them exactly how they need, so that when they see what I've got, they come towards me, so that when they see what I've got, they are interested. Anything you're going to take away from this podcast, please let it be this. Marketing your music is how you build an audience for your music. So the missing link is learning how to market your music. And marketing as a topic, as a subject, is vast, it's varied, and it can be really, really creative. But you need to stand behind the concept of yourself as an artist, and that your artistry deserves this effort to be put into it, to find those people who really, really want it in their life, because they are out there and they're going to enjoy it and love it when they find you. But they don't find you by accident. They find you because you put yourself in front of them. So get on board with it. Before I tie things up, I'm just going to answer that last part of the question, which is, should we be putting on our own events in pubs and bars? So I would argue you don't need pubs or bars for this. I'm actually sober almost 2 whole years. Hello. Very proud of myself for that. And I don't like late night gigs. I hate late nights in general. They absolutely wrecked my brain for over 12 years of performing late at night, super loud, everybody's drunk. I just don't enjoy it. It doesn't suit me as a person. I don't like those places anyway, never mind putting my cherished music into them. I much prefer people sitting as sober as I can get them, listening to my work and engaging with me. So here's a list of other things you could do instead of pubs and bars when it comes to your music. And I've done more or less all of these, right? House concerts. Oh my God, half of my tours, all of the tours I've done, more or less 50% of the shows were house gigs. They're slightly harder to get into than a pub or a bar, of course. You can't just walk into someone's house and start playing. I didn't mean in that way, but also that too. They can be more difficult to find, but when you do find your first few house concert hosts, you will be surprised at how many more start to emerge. People who come to them want them for themselves, or people tend to know each other, and it starts to grow from there. The next place is local community music festivals. There are usually quite a lot of these going on. They're maybe an afternoon or a day long. They're usually run by charities or volunteers. With these, there's usually quite a lot of kids and families, so obviously keep it PG, but they can be really nice places to meet people, to chat, to talk to people, and to start growing an audience. Busking. There are so many musicians who got their start busking, and I don't think anybody should ever feel like they're above it. Now, you might not want to busk or can't. Like this electronic keyboard doesn't work well in a Glasgow rainy day, so it's not for everybody. But I do know many people who got that start busking and found themselves building a really nice audience that would come and see them busk. The last point here is to form an artist collective. So I formed an artist collective called Art Pact back in like 2013 or 2014, and we toured loads together. We played loads of shows together. We done Patreons, Kickstarters, we made an album together, and we clubbed all of our marketing and promotional efforts as a team. So it meant no one person had to promote the whole gig. We could all take turns and we could all help with the social media and things like that. So I really do recommend getting a little hub like an artist collective or an accountability hub or a release club or something where you can get some support from your peers to help you navigate this, and in doing so you help each other and you can grow audiences that way too. So I'm going to end with this, and this is really, really important. Growing an audience for your music takes a really long time and a lot of effort. I mean a lot of effort, and you're going to need to do things you've never done before. So before going into it, please make sure that you've got your music artistry, your songwriting, your musicianship, your values, your vision, all of that stuff as locked down as you can. That you can stand behind the music that you make and what you do and really say, like, I believe in this. This represents me. Whether people like it or don't like it, whether people listen to it or never listen to it, this is who I am and I stand behind it. Because as soon as you start marketing yourself and putting things out there and people start interacting with that, everything changes. I want you to have as much knowledge and skills and understanding before you go into things. Do some research, and if you only do one thing, please let it be just getting some fundamental knowledge on what marketing is and a little bit about how it works and how that might relate to your music. Is going to make you much better off in the long run if you're going for this. Best of luck. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like to ask me a question and be featured on the podcast, then head over to the Be Radical Make Music Facebook community and you can upload your question to me inside that community. I can't wait to hear your voice. Hopefully we'll feature you on a future episode. Until then, my dear songwriter, stay radical, keep writing your songs, keep making your music, and I'll see you next time.